All right, can we talk? Can we talk? I don't know why you're here, but if you're here, it might not be a mistake. I don't know if you are here because I randomly came up in your feed, if you follow me because of all my funny stories around dating after my divorce, if you follow me for fitness, or if you come here because journaling has been my saving grace in my life. I don't know why you're here, but if you're watching this, this is for you. Hi, I'm Jo Ellen, and 5 years ago, I almost died. I stopped breathing for over 10 minutes. And what has happened to me since that has been profound. How do I say this? God, give me my words, angels, guides, teachers. Please give it to me. Thank you. Sometimes I have to ask for guidance because I get confronted. I get afraid of what I'm going to look like as I share this. And 5 years ago, I almost died. I spent 10 minutes not breathing. No, you can't get CPR when you're in the middle of a seizure and turning bright colors or dark colors, you know. And that day, time stood still. There was no time. I had no memory. Nothing existed. I was 100% present to everything. And I remember this feeling of great peace. I remember I was in the ER. My dad was there, my sister was there, and I wasn't worried about anything. I just had the feeling of peace. And God, how do I even explain this? So I just explain it. I just say it like it is, and I let the cards fall where they may. So I have been journaling since the year 2000. So we're talking about 26 years, but really in 2010, it started to shift and I started to do it on a regular basis. I started journaling during my divorce because my now ex-husband was going through a severe mental breakdown and we were falling apart, and I had no idea how bad it was about to get, but it got really bad. And all I wanted in my journaling was to ask God for help to heal this angel that was in my life, who, by the way, I never even felt worthy of having, and bring him home to me. And to make a long story short, that is not what happened. And I spent the next 10 years in hell. And I suffered. And in 2010, I know it was 2010 because I know exactly who I was dating at the time. I realized in my journaling that I was being guided, that I could ask for answers, and answers were actually showing up. But I had to stop forcing my agenda on the world. I had to stop saying, I want this person to come to me. I want to feel loved. I want to feel connected. I want to be in a relationship with this person. And I had to start to surrender, to soften my heart and surrender and listen for the guidance. Because the guidance was telling me, girl, you are a dumpster fire. You're making a mess of your life. And we love you. And as soon as you start to realize you're the source of all your suffering, you will be free. And how it showed up was that God was sort of regifting me every man that I was out there trying to love me. That I was trying to convince them that I was worthy of their love. So I was becoming a chameleon and I was shape-shifting. And I was trying to prove over and over my worthiness. And what I got to see was that every one of them was a gift. Because the gift was for me to open my eyes and see that I was creating all this pain. I was creating all this chaos because I wasn't living authentically. I wasn't being me. I was being the version of me that I thought they needed me to be so they wouldn't leave. And when I saw it, it could be really painful, but what I saw was if I was the source and I was the common denominator between all of these breakups, that I had to be the answer, because I wouldn't have the challenge unless the answer was there. And yes, I did this through journaling. I also was listening to teachers and trying to ask for help, and help was showing up. I was just really trying to create it in my way. So I could have been really angry that I was the common denominator and I was the one who was, quite frankly, fucking all this up. Because there were many, many, many lonely, painful times that I didn't want to be here any longer. I didn't want to be here. And what I was being shown was, if I was the common denominator, then I was also the solution. And I was the one who had to make better choices. So in my journal and on the pages of my journal, I started to ask what I could do. And it started to show me where I was selling out on myself. And to simply start to create healthy boundaries. Now, mind you, I didn't get all of this overnight. It took practice because I had all of these old beliefs trapped in my mind about who I was and what I was worthy of. And I wasn't worthy of any of this. And I wasn't going to be worthy until love showed up. But love was always there because it was always inside of me. It was always there inside of me, because the cosmic joke of the universe is that the answers are hidden in the last place you will look, because they're hidden inside of you. And you are the gift that you've been seeking. You are the love that you are out there trying to find. You are the job, you are the income, you are the belief system. It's you. And what you are seeing is actually a projection of everything you are thinking and feeling. So learning to shift, to see it, to see what you are responsible for creating is the gift. And it's one of the most beautiful gifts you may ever receive in your life. For me, it was. And right now, I've continued to journal. And I hear full thoughts. Like, I sit and I journal. And I write pages and pages and pages sometimes. And it's like a full, comprehensive thought is coming through. Did you see the orb that just flew up behind me? The angels let me know they're here. And I get grateful for them because the angels started to show up a month before my NDE. And if you're still here listening, you are starving for connection. You're starving for answers. Consider you are exactly where you're meant to be. Because in my journaling, what I see is that I've always been able to channel this. I just had to soften my heart and surrender to source energy. To ask for guidance for the good of all, the harm of none, and for my highest good. Because if it didn't fit that parameter, it's not from light. And I also had to ask for help because they can't come in to help us unless we ask. So we ask, and then we practice the golden rule. We ask for help for the good of all, the harm of none, and for my highest good. you may help me. You give them permission. And then soften your heart, soften your expectation, and allow it to flow through you. Because what I saw this week in my journaling was profound. That I came here to this earthly plane as a spiritual being having a human experience, and I came here to forget. I came here to forget that I am a spiritual being. And my divorce and the trauma that I experienced during my divorce was divine in purpose. I designed it before I came here to awaken me. I put the obstacle there, so I had to start to ask for healing. And then I spent the next 10 years of my life as a dumpster fire, living in fear, self-loathing, and judgment of myself. And in 2008, I was in not one, not two, but 3 car accidents in the series of 6 weeks. And again, this week in my journaling, I saw how that was part of my awakening process, because I'd gotten so far off track. I'd gotten so stuck in the quagmire of this human experience that the car accidents were there to awaken me again, to slow me down, because I had to ask for help. I had to surrender. I didn't have a choice any longer. And when I started to surrender and started to ask for guidance, guidance started to show up. And I started to have profound journaling experiences where I would say it's like the version of Joellen that is way smarter than this human version was coming in. And it was coming in to help me. And I started getting comfortable in my life. I started to get comfortable in my job. I started to get comfortable, and I was looking for a house to buy because I was having a great human experience. And then the pandemic showed up. And I still was living in this very human experience. And in the middle of the pandemic, I almost died. And again, it was a wake-up call. It was what I had asked for in my design before I came here, to awaken my soul, so I had the courage, the belief in myself, to start to ask for more help, start to accept the answers, start to ask for my soul family to show up in my life. And here I am. And I am not special. You can do this. You can do this. You don't need me. What you need is, I love pen and paper because it attaches to your heart. Don't do this on a computer if you can avoid it. Did you see the orb? I have goosebumps. They come in to tell me that I'm on track. I'm just saying thank you to them for being here and being with me, because they really do let me know I am loved and that I'm not alone and that I'm on the right track, that what I'm about to say is the right thing. Because when I sit with my pen and my notebook and I say to God, good morning, God, thank you for today. And I elevate my energy through gratitude. And then I set the parameter that I'm asking for loving guidance for the good of all, the harm of none, and for my highest good. Yes, you may help me. I give them permission. And then I sit and I start to write what's going on in my mind, in my heart, in my spirit. And the most beautiful, loving, connected messages show up. And it's like this stream of consciousness comes through. And it evolves over time. And I've learned to trust it. And I ask them for guidance. I ask them for help to help me along this journey. Please keep showing up. Keep showing me that you're there. And it happens. There are smells I smell, like being in the middle of a gym and all of a sudden you smell roses. And then coming to find out that that's Archangel Chamuel telling me they are with me. Being in my car and all of a sudden seeing all these 5 show up and knowing that that's Archangel Michael letting me know he is here. Hearing in my journal 3 times, Joshua, Joshua, Joshua. And then realizing that it was Yeshua. And then being brought to A Course in Miracles and realizing when I'm reading A Course in Miracles that that's what I've been channeling. Not word for word, but feeling for feeling and idea for idea. And being reminded that I am just like you, and you can do this. That every answer you've been seeking is already inside of you. Another orb. I'm not even going to edit this video. I'm going to leave all the mistakes in because it's authentic. And I'm just going to put it up on YouTube and see what happens. So if you've been watching this and you've stayed this entire time, this message was definitely for you. You are loved. You are so loved. The pain that you are experiencing right now is the gift to reawakening your body, your mind, and your spirit. You are the answer you've been looking for. And God is ready to talk to you. And you don't need anyone else. You have a direct line to God, to source energy, because you are an extension of God. Why would you need an intermediary? If someone teaches fear, if someone teaches that you need them and you can't do this yourself, they're not speaking from source. They're speaking from ego. You can do this. You don't need me. You are worthy of all the love in the universe. And they love you. They're waiting for you.